The games you love, we are at Event City Manchester for a whole weekend of retro gaming. What's your favourite retro game?
Got to be Street Fighter, really. Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, especially.
Favourite retro game? It'd have to be Super Metroid on the NES.
Well, we've been travelling and been to all the conventions this year. We did Eurogamer last month, so we're coming to this one. We just like to show up and talk to people, meet new friends, and obviously they've got a Donkey Kong machine, so we like to come and see if we can get our name on the scoreboard.
Right, do you want to tell us the story about these Donkey Kong machines?
What, how I acquired them?
Yeah.
Well, the first one was Donkey Kong Jr., which I acquired on the Jammaplus form. It's what got me into the machines in the first place. And Donkey Kong 3 was a Versus cab, which I stripped down and restored into Donkey Kong 3. I managed to get a kit from America, which is really, really rare, and basically restored that. And the last one was Donkey Kong.
If you had a dream to open up an arcade anywhere, where would it be and what machine?
In my back garden, and it'll be all these machines.
Massive fan of retro gaming, and this is like the biggest collection of retro games, so I always come every year and it's amazing.
I'm here to just experience the vibe of the retro games, all the old pinball games, and it's just really fun. Not enough time to look at everything.
I'm here to talk about hints and tips for video game pioneers. This is a quote from your Sinclair, the rock and roll years. Hewson was one of the quieter stars, that's me, of the Spectrum scene. Concentrating purely on original games, that is completely true. Without even a hint of a license tie-in, Hewson preferred to let the programmers be the stars. And it was a matter of luck and reading the right magazine as to whether or not you saw them. Well, of course it was. Were we going to spend money on advertising, or were we going to put our time, effort, and limited finances into the games? What would you do?
Getting to play so many games, you know, you can just stand up, move next and play the next one. So it's just, there's so much going on. I haven't even covered it all, to be fair. I think the Super Mario All-Stars is my favourite game because there's so many good games on that one cartridge. And Doom as well, that's my favourite FPS shooter. They're the two main games I always find myself going back to. I also like Syndicate and Flash Track as well, but them two, what I mentioned, Doom and Super Mario All-Stars are the best games, I think.
I started on the old black and white Pong games, the grandstand multi-game machines, Commodore 64, consoles all the way up to the present day stuff, and coming to somewhere like Play Expo is absolutely fantastic for somebody like me because of all the old microcomputers, all the consoles, the retro games, the arcade cabinets. It takes me right back to my youth, and it's exactly the sort of thing that I love to get passionate and enthusiastic about.
The film goes through the sort of first wave of developers, artists, musicians who sort of paved the way. You know, there were interviews where people were outpouring. There was several people that broke down. Matthew Smith's interview was very, very hard. It was the hardest interview we did. And also, he's at a point in his life when he's able to look back at what happened. So he's sort of out of the fog.
my big thing about this period is about how a lot of creativity comes out of the whole limited forces thing. What I loved about that time was, as I was saying, about working with the limitations stimulated you.
We've actually got the Neo Geo X set up. We've got 3 different setups today. We've got one running Metal Slug, one running Garou Mark of the Wolves, and one running Super Sidekick Soccer. The biggest draw at any event we turn up with the Neo Geo X, we'll set Metal Slug on there, and you see people flocking from all over. Actually, at this exact moment in time, people in the background playing Metal Slug. There's a group gathered around it, so it's really, you know, for me, even on a top level, when we first announced it, some of the senior people in the industry and the games retail stores, for example, were saying, is Metal Slug going to be on this console? Metal Slug going to be on this console? And obviously the answer was yeah. I think communities like Games You Loved actually reminding people a lot of the games that you're playing these days are inspired by classic games. They're easy to pick up and play. You can get them freely available in some areas, or at budget prices if you look in the right places. And also our range of products with built-in games. We've got Sega handhelds that take SD cards. So yeah, the game's out there. I think people just need reminding that that's what you're going to be doing, not playing on games that take you a week to download or £50 for 2 hours gameplay. So yeah, I'd say a big thank you to Games You Love for this opportunity to do an interview. Check them out on Twitter and Facebook at /Games You Loved on Facebook, and www.gamesyouloved.com. For videos, there's some great community stuff on there. They've got game reviews, they've got news, they've got information. We've got information about the industry, about events. So it's one destination that everyone should be going to and checking out. So yeah, absolutely recommend those guys at Games You Love.